forced the media, the mainstream media. You know, what I'm talking about. They forced me to talk about this. I love big tits. My God, it's clear. It's clear. I love big tits. I love.
How did you not go with "I cannot lie"?
I can't lie. I can't lie. I love big tits.
I cannot tell a lie.
And that's something. It's honestly, believe me, it's the thing I respect most about Bill. We both love big titty bitches, you know. My God, when you've ever seen a big titted woman jog, it's
if she doesn't have two black eyes, I don't like her.
Jog.
My God.
his lower jaw thing.
We're on Trump. Did you guys watch his announcement speech at all?
No.
I couldn't find the whole thing. I just found like snippets of it.
Snippets, yeah.
Is it good? It depends on who you listen to. I watched Hannity go on for 20 minutes about how amazing it was. Yeah, he thought it was fantastic. And he had Jim Jordan on, who thought it was fantastic, and a couple other cheerleaders that were new to me that said that it was fantastic. He stuck to his message. If he keeps doing this, he's our next president. And then I listened to the left-wing news. They said it was boring. There's footage of people trying to leave the room and security stopping them.
That.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, okay, I can see it, so I might believe it's true, but it might not be because it's boring or they're trying to make the room look full. Maybe
it's a security issue, and people are trying to go into the side room when the president's talking. It's like, whoa, this is a secure area. Hang on.
It's like nobody comes, nobody goes while Trump is in here. We've vetted you guys. This scenario
that makes sense.
So it could have been a security thing, but they're painting it as no one could leave the room so that the room didn't become empty. It was low energy and boring. Yeah. So was it good? Depends if you liked him already.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun again. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that it stays away. Seemingly it just went away, or we stopped.
Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Did we stop pretending it's real, or did we start pretending it's not real?
Asking the true question. Let me tent my fingers and think about
my
this.
God. Like I don't even know. Like I haven't gotten my second booster. I've gotten the 2 vaccinations and then a booster. And is it time for another booster? Are you getting another booster, Woody?
I
do what COVID. Woody does. Woody, I got my motorcycle. I
do what Woody does.
I'm gonna get my tattoo tomorrow.
WWWD.
It's a donut, and my girlfriend's is the donut hole. I'm not doing that. But Woody did get it.
Yeah, I got the booster shot before that trip to Mexico last year. Because it just seemed like if I was going to take a flight, I ended up waiting in customs in what is basically a big room with 1,500 people in it. And it made a lot of sense to me to get the booster shot. This year, I think I am going to get it, but they have a combo flu COVID shot.
Ooh,
and the flu is particularly bad this year, they say. In North Carolina in particular is like one of the worst states for the flu.
We didn't have any flu last year. So weird.
Came back with a vengeance this year.
I do get that.
Every other year.
Every other year. Classic flu pattern.
It's like the alcoholism gene. It skips a generation, you know?
Like baldness. Just
so I don't know if I'm right or not, but I'm like, if they've got flu and COVID lumped into one, I'll get one of those and have an easier winter. A friend of mine, a flying friend, just came down with the flu recently and it sucked. And it was like, yeah, I'd like to not get that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it then. I'll get it. I'll get it. I don't want to. I know people that got COVID and they've got permanent issues, whether it's respiratory or just not being able to smell. Like, I don't know about you, but man, I want to be able to smell things.
I like
what if you step in dog shit and you don't know?
You would know if you stepped in dog shit.
That long COVID, which is like a long-term brain fug, and there's something else that sometimes long COVID people get. Like, it sounds like it really sucks.
Respiratory issues, and there's I've heard some sort of like something about their brain function is different. Like I remember when they went through all of those scary things, and it was almost like they were making them up to get people like us to stand it to get in line for their shot. Because at first they were like, "You don't understand. This is killing 0.0 0 seconds.
You don't understand.
You don't get it, man.
Are you obese, elderly, and diabetic?
No, I'm young, strong, and incredibly fit. They're like, what get you? And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, it'll make it so you can't breathe good. Try pumping iron then. And I was like, well, I better get in line.
So I had these symptoms of long COVID. I got COVID like 4 times. And it got progressively like less shitty every time. And I got 2 vaccines. I haven't gotten any boosters, but it's the first one sucked real bad. But that's before we had a vaccine. And then I had basically 6 months where my brain just like I couldn't really function all that well in terms of like focusing on stuff. So like when you make YouTube videos, you have to be on, you have to understand, awareness and like present things to the audience and have energy and things like that. And I could not get through a scene. Like it was real bad.
For 6 months?
Yeah. And I had to like sit down and like really, like I had to write down essentially a script. Like I'm pretty unscripted. Maybe I'll write down a bullet point every once in a while, but like I had to literally think of the words I had to say the next, right before I said them. So that sucked real bad. I didn't get any like smell or taste symptoms, which was fine. I didn't cough all that much, but I had the craziest fatigue ever. And I was wondering, I'm like, am I just depressed? I'm like, is this just like a severe depression? Because I can't get up from bed. Like I just can't. I have no energy. It feels like someone just took like my. I just can't recharge myself no matter what I do. If I, go outside or try to get some exercise, it's like everything just sucks. So, it was about like 5-6 months of that. And then I got, incrementally better. But yeah, I mean, I had COVID 3 more times after that. And it was just like the flu you get, when I get sick, I just spike a fever. And then after 2 days, it's gone. But then you just infect everybody else. So that's fun.
You look back on
how
the
are you
flu
doing
and
now?
I'm fine now. Yeah, I mean, it's no issues. Thankfully, but I know a bunch of people that got COVID. Actually, one of a family friend, her son, which is my age, died, but he died, sort of controversial opinion. Probably he was unvaccinated, but like he also died because he was in Kentucky, and oh my God, is the healthcare system like garbage where he died.
It's been my experience with West Virginia.
Like I had a person that like I know a few of the people here in Florida that like run the hospitals, and we have the monoclonal antibodies. So if you had COVID or like you were just experiencing symptoms, they can give that to you and you feel better almost immediately. Like this is like Regeneron, like this is what they gave Trump, and he was like, I could kiss anybody, I don't care. Like that stuff really works in certain circumstances. And we were trying to get him on like a private plane to get him over here, just like something to save this dude's life. And they were fumbling around with his medical records. They said we can't release him for 3 days because we have to get the records from this other place. And they said you need to put him on a ventilator. And then they told the family, you need to take him off the ventilator because he's just going to die. And this was within like 4 days. Like he had like a little bit of a fever, and then he was getting a little worse, went to the hospital in 4 days, dead.
It's a lot of conflicting info in 4 days.
Yeah,
do this, you have to. Take him off that, you have to, or he'll die.
Yeah, exactly. And it was crazy. And
I guess
this guy had 2 kids and whatever. And I know that it's that's the case for a lot of people. And going into the research now, you see that the ventilators, they could help people, but they could also, you basically have to restrict the lung function so the ventilator could do its job. Sometimes they were overinflating things and they were damaging people's lungs. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why can't they oxygenate blood the same way they do, or a similar way they do kidney dialysis? Why can't they pump my blood out of one end and oxygenate it in the machine, like kidney dialysis type
like
machine?
Blood doping or something?
Well, no. Just to have a thing that oxygenates blood.
Get it. Like, why do they have to make your lungs function? Why can't they?
Yeah, it does seem
route the blood out of you and back in fully oxygenated. It seems like
maybe like your lungs die if they're not being used or something.
You could fill them up with some sort of liquid to keep them
Give
inflated.
them some busy work.
I just made that problem up. I have no
Have
idea.
you ever
what I'm
seen
talking
that?
about.
By the way, have you seen that
It's
breathable
water
liquid?
world, yeah.
That what?
The breathable liquid, that pink fluid.
I have it. I don't trust it.
In the abyss.
So in the abyss, there's a scene.
The documentary in 1989. Yeah.
So in the scene that you're talking about in the abyss, when Ed Harris gets in there, that's really liquid around him that he's not breathing. When the rat is submerged in that oxygenated fluid, that's real. That's a rat breathing in that fluid, surviving while breathing fluid. That's real.
I
Can
would like
we
to
do that?
know
Yeah.
during childbirth, like what kickstarts a person to switch from the umbilical cord to the lungs?
It's usually the birth.
Like, but specifically, okay, look, I know
Doesn't
it
the
happens.
baby get smacked by the doctor on the back often?
Is,
Like,
that, is there like a button on their anus and you just sort of pop it
Well,
and make
not
them
the
start
anus.
breathing?
well, not on their fucking
It's the
anus.
button,
You know,
yeah.
that's
the
the way
back.
that I deliver babies, and I'm a little offended.
It's
Yeah,
the on
every-
switch, yeah.
But
Woody
no,
thinks
like,
that circumcision
that's what they
isn't
said.
traumatic enough. He needs to.
That's what they said to me.
Yeah. Common sense hammer control.
you guys got me on politics again. Pelosi stepped down. She's no longer the leader of the Democrats in the House.
Oh no.
Yeah, right.
I
like
that
that.
impacts my life so much.
Ah.
Who's in charge?
How did you get here?
Am I the only one who sees it as a loss? To me, it looks like a crazy showed up, scared her, and then she quit the fucking business, ran her out of town.
Yeah, those are big
that
cups
hot
to
takes?
fill. They
I
should
see
get
it a little
AOC.
differently. I see it as
Coincidence,
It's-
huh?
it's this. I think it's no fun to be the minority ruler, right? It's no fun to lead the House when your party lost it, and that's
Ooh.
where she is. So not only did she drop out, but the second most powerful person in the House and the third most powerful person in the House, all three of them were like, fuck it, we're bowing down. And not just a generation younger, but like 2 generations younger are leading the House now for the Democrats, which isn't much leadership because the Republicans run it. But it implies that the next time the Democrats get power, assuming that happens again, that they'll have younger leadership. And as I don't know,
I think it to me it sounds like maybe there was a deal, and she was like, "Look, if we hang on to control, then I stay in power, and so do these people. And if we lose it, then yeah, we'll do the thing you guys been wanting. We'll put Jim in, and Beverly, and Bob, and like everybody knows what position they're moving into."
the Republicans did the same thing. Paul Ryan led the House. And then when the Republicans lost the House, Paul Ryan's like, fuck it, this job sucks if you're not in charge.
He's still pretty young, isn't he?
42?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was like, as far as politicians go, he was a spring chicken. Like,
yeah. And he was in really good shape. He's one of the probably best looking male politician I can think of.
Really? Those ears.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the competition, man.
Can we get shirtless Paul Ryan?
Who's the best looking male? Lindsey Graham.
A 5 in Congress, you know.
Yeah, a Congress 5. Yeah.
Strom Thurman. All right, pull Strom up. Strom,
you know who I like? I like that guy Chuck Grassley, who's 101. I want to talk to him about his life and just be like, what was it like when electricity took
thing about Grassley being older than the chocolate chip cookie? And it's true.
Fake news. Chocolate chip cookies have existed a long time.
Look at this guy.
No, the thing is, chocolate chip cookies are almost brand fucking new. It's a bigger brag than it sounds like.
What? They're not almost
brand new. They've been putting chocolate in cookies for centuries.
I bet that they've been making Plymouths for longer than chocolate chips existed.
Chocolate chip cookie invented in 1938.
Yeah, exactly. 1938. That's not that long ago.
Well,
I'm saying that's
like people years.
That's not really when they invented it.
Well, when you put it in people years.
That's when they probably like had Chips Ahoy start making it. People were making that shit way before.
Taylor, without proof, claims that chocolate chip cookies existed before chocolate chip cookies were invented.
He has
open your eyes, people.
This has always been.
Reality is before you. You just have to see it. No, honestly, unironically, there's no fucking way that they just figured out putting chocolate in cookies in 1938. That's insane. You have to be a crazy person to think that there wasn't some German grandma in 1840 who's like, oh, put chocolate in here.
Do you know what chocolate cost in Germany in 1840? You
borderline free. That's all they ate.
You made all this up. There's nothing Taylor says backed by anything.
You don't know that.
This is awfully close to.
You can't know where my facts are coming from because even I don't know. Where my facts are coming. That's Sun Tzu. Always keep your opponent guessing.
What is the logical fallacy called that you just use? I don't know the name of it. Like only a jackass gay faggot would believe that, would he? And then you're like, what? Oh yeah, not me.
That is
it's an association or something. I
appeal to being a dick. I don't fucking know. I don't know about that one.
Authority or appeal to.
I don't know. I used a couple. I used red herring in there, trying to throw you off the scent with my chocolate misinformation.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna start doing online, spreading misinformation about meaningless things.
Exactly.
So basically Reddit.
Basically Reddit, yeah. But we'll see. I think for the Democrats, I'm back on the Pelosi thing. I think it's good. Pelosi was a bad word amongst anyone but the.
You said faggot for no reason a second ago, and now we're calling her a bad word.
Yeah.
What a liberal cock.
Yeah. But like, there are words that either team hears. Like, if the blue team hears freaking Mitch McConnell or something, they instantly assume it's bad. They want to say Moscow Mitch. Pelosi is a curse word to the red team. So getting her off the blue team might work to their advantage. On the other hand, she did the job forever. I guess she counted votes well and got shit passed. So they'll miss that.
Yeah.
And she has big boobs. I don't know how we'll replace
big old
those.
mommy milkers.
That's a big bra to fill.
Is there any way we'll ever get to see him? Like maybe if she like has like some sort of public like mishap, like a Hillary type thing, her blouse just explodes and those titties. Titties are just undulating around.
She's like at a wind farm for some energy shit.
They gotta give her CPR. They gotta give her CPR, and like every time they press, like buttons are exploding. Like she's got so much undergarment to hold those milkers in. Like we don't even know how big they are. They're like
I think that would be
R's.
the most that would be the most famous event on television ever.
One of the buttons hits Biden in the head. That's the little flick that sends him right over the senility edge.
No, he remembers his grandkids' names.
He's launching the missiles to fucking, but he still thinks we're in Korea. So
I looked at
send those Chinese back to their wall.
It's like
I looked at pictures
Biden.
of young Pelosi. This is like a week ago, and young Pelosi was attractive.
Yeah,
So I did the exact same thing a week ago.
Zach, can you? Why were we doing that?
I don't know. I feel like we did it at the same time.
Zach, can you find a picture of find the best Nancy Pelosi picture you can? One that shows her like pretty, and she's not a world-class beauty, right? Like Jackie O, I think, was legit good looking. But she's Paul Ryan's equal, I think.
I'm gonna search sexy Nancy Pelosi.
There's a picture.
Boy.
You better use Bing.
Damn,
that's a terrible picture. She looks scared, and
before color was invented.
She looks scared.
They're like so big.
Oh my god!
That's just how people looked back then. Surprise.
This is what it looks like when you're getting unwanted sexual advances. This isn't the picture I was hoping for.
Look at that shoulder.
Dude, there's a YouTube video I just found looking up Nancy Pelosi boobs and clicking images, and it says, and it is a like just thumbnail from some podcast called Hard Factor, and it's Speaker of the Blouse. And it's just her big two tits there. So
wow,
that's a well-endowed woman.
It is.
And you know what? Good for her.
Pretty anymore.
Her kids must be proud.
You can't dislike everything about someone.
I mean, good Lord. It just goes to show you.
You could try.
No one
can try, but you can't.
Yeah, we're all shades of gray.
We're all shades of gray.
Okay.